I almost forgot about doing stocks today. Silver is up. I did buy $1 of each of some stocks this morning before the hours because the Indian guru guy that I follow, the Minority Mindset guy, I think his name, I know his name, I just not sure I pronounce it right, is like Jaspreet or something like that. Anyways, he had a video this morning talking about how Trump or whoever basically just gave like $20 billion to Argentina, or wait, I forgot the name of the country. I think it's Argentina. Anyways, but it wasn't a gift, it was an exchange. So they gave us the equivalent in pesos and we gave them US dollars to help stimulate their economy. So it wasn't a handout, it was a hand up. And so he was talking about who to things that we could invest in to help stimulate their economy and therefore maybe get some returns as well. So I went and put $1 in each of everything. Two of them were paying 5% dividend yield. So 5 plus, I can't remember exactly. I think one was closer to 6. So not too bad, not too bad. Anyways, and he was suggesting there might be some other avenues as well, but I didn't do a lot of research into what avenues he might have been talking about. But he basically said, you know, you could go and buy bonds from their country, but there's a risk you might not get any return on your investment. And so I just kind of ignored that and invested in the other stuff he was talking about. But I just threw $1 in because I don't have a lot of money right now. If you got a lot of money, then that would be the thing to do. So go to the Minority Mindset guy's website or YouTube and watch his video that he put out last night or this morning about let's see, hang on. $40 billion. Yeah, Argentina. So go check out that video that he posted 5 hours ago. Anyway, like I said, I only had $1 to put in, so I didn't put in very much. But I bought, I don't know, about $15 worth of stock overall, maybe 20. So I like to go here before I get started, and I like to go here to conclude. So my current value is 16,000, almost 500. And my stocks are up $2,000, 12%. My passive income is up $3,500, 21%. So I'm doing pretty good. So far, so good. My dividend growth is back up 1%. Not too bad. Unfortunately, right now I gotta cash out some stocks because since we're gonna have a clouded title on this property, I can't get a loan against it to get the mobile home out of foreclosure, so I gotta come up with the money myself. I got a couple grand in savings, but it's not enough. I need to come up with at least 5 grand minimum, 10 grand maximum, but it'll probably be more like 5,000 to 7,500, somewhere in that range. But anyways, plus some extra money for like closing costs for the land, which might be 500 to 1,000 bucks, plus any other fees that we might incur or occur, whatever. Anyways, I'm bad with terminologies. I somewhat know what I'm talking about, but my terminology isn't always on point. Alright, hang on. Alright. So, we go to activities. And I'll show you the stuff that he was talking about, or at least the stuff I invested in. Basically, anyways, TJX. Oh, I'm surprised they actually paid a dividend. 7 cents. Woohoo. They only pay like 1%. And they actually paid out a little bit sooner than they were before. Before I had their stock for over 2 years, and or over a year. I think it took them about 2 years to pay me a dividend. But now it looks like they're paying every quarter. So this would be one that if I was investing in 1% stocks, this would be one that I would invest in because it is a long-term stable stock. I actually haul for these guys, and it's down for the week, but overall these guys know how to make money. Overall their stock is up 7,000%. So if you had bought stock way back when, say you bought $10,000 worth of stock when it was $5, that was just 2 shares. It'd be worth $15,000 right now. That's just 2 shares. But you couldn't cash it out because then you'd have to pay income tax on it. But borrow money against that stock, and then put that money in dividend stocks. I'm not sure how that works, but Elon Musk does something similar. I have to learn that, but I don't have enough valuable stock to be doing stuff like that yet. Maybe one of these days. But anyways, so TJX. Oh. The stock is up, but it's not up that much. Let's see how much I got in there. Oh, I only got 25 bucks in there. I think I'm gonna hold on to this and let it grow. Oh wait, let's do the woohoo thing. Alright, hooray. Alright, this one I got 50 bucks in. Oh, but the stock is down. And it only pays 3.5%. Alright, next. Stock is down. 4%. IRS. Stock is up. This one pays a little bit better, 9%. I got the 22 bucks back that I invested in other stuff this morning. Probably don't have very much here. %. $4. 4%. $4. 3%. Now that 3% might not be accurate. We would have to actually physically look them up because some of these are misleading. But right now, I'm just looking for stuff I can liquidate so I can get this mobile home out of foreclosure. That's another good one. It pays like 6% plus. But I'm not looking at the chart to see how good it actually is. Another thing I would look into as well when determining to buy a stock is the earnings per share. How much profit are they actually making versus how much profit are you making? So, you know, it's like if they're, hang on, let's go to the next one. Okay, this is a somewhat stable stock. It only fluctuates by 1 or 2 points consistently. So, this stock is $100 a share. Now, say the earnings per share is say the earnings per share is $1, or let's just say the earnings per share is $50. So they're making 50% return on their investment, and they're paying you 25% dividend yield. If I got my calculations right. So you're getting 25% of the profit, or maybe even 50% of the profit, and then they're keeping the rest. You know, if it's something like that, then you know you're doing pretty good. Everybody's winning. You're making money. They're making money. Everybody's making money. But if their earnings per share is in a negative and they're still paying you a dividend, they're basically upside down and they're bleeding money. So what they're doing is if they're still paying a dividend, they're paying dividends on either the money they used to have, or they're borrowing money to pay us, which is never really a good thing either. Because it's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Eventually it's going to go bankrupt if they keep doing that. So you want to look at stuff like that as well. There's a lot of other things to look at, but off the top of my head, you know, I would basically look at their 5-year track record. Look at their earnings per share, and look at their dividend growth over the last 5 years. And if those things are good, then that's where I'd put my money. If they're not, then it's a potential risk. Well, everything's a risk, but that's a higher risk. So anyway, and I'm not a guru expert, but the Minority Mindset guy, he's got free stuff where you can learn. They got like a group which I haven't joined yet. I'm a part of their Discord, but I haven't joined their Market Briefs, I think is what he calls it. Briefs Media, that's what it is. Briefs Media. I haven't subscribed to that yet, and I probably should. I got enough time to do it. Because I'm just sitting on my butt driving truck all day. So, I mean, I do have time to study, but I just haven't done it.
3 miles, take exit 7 on the right, onto South 3rd Street toward Terre Haute.
And I could study each one of these companies a lot more in depth also before I invest. I could spend the whole day doing this, and I used to, but I don't feel like doing it as much as I used to. It's not as exciting as it used to be. But so far what I am doing is working. Will it work in the long term? That's the question. So I could stand to learn more about what I'm doing and how to do it better.
In 2 miles, take exit 7 for US 41, US 150 toward Evansville, Terre Haute.
Alright, so these are the stocks that I bought $1's worth this morning. Oh wait, no, these aren't it. Yeah, they are, I think so. Yeah, 4 hours ago. So, QS, that's a lithium company. Apparently Argentina is big on the mineral that we the mineral lithium that we need for Elon Musk and stuff like that. You know, lithium batteries, smart stuff, smart cars, smartphones, computers, all that stuff, technology. These electric cars and all that stuff. We need lithium, more lithium. So they're going to be basically mining Argentina for lithium. And so us as a country investing in Argentina
In half a mile,
is
take exit 7
also
on the right,
us
onto
investing
South
in
3rd Street toward
technology.
Terre Haute.
So the Minority Mindset guy suggested looking into these stocks. So I bought $1 of each. So you have QS, SLI, LIT, LAR,
Speed limit reduced ahead.
EMLC, that is actually a dividend stock.
First exit
ATLX,
on the right, onto South 3rd Street.
SGML, ELVR, SQM, EMB, which is also another dividend stock, NLAC.
Turn right onto South 3rd Street toward Terre Haute.
So there might be more. These are just the ones that I looked up. He told me about the dividend stock ones, and like I said, they pay about 5%, maybe a little bit
Continue
more.
on US 41 north for 4 miles.
But is this guy loaded or empty? looks like he's empty. Maybe that's why he's in the left lane. Oh well. Anyways. So anyways, that's it for Robinhood. Once I get this land and this mobile home in our names, I got another project I'm working on. So I was thinking about looking for another job that'll pay me a little bit better, but this job pays okay and the job itself is okay. I've worked for some pretty crappy trucking companies, and this one, I think the worst thing about it is that it could pay better. So, when I was working for the other division, they lied to me and said that I'd be home every weekend and I'd only work 5 days a week and I'd be making up to $1,800 a week, which was bullshit. You know, they basically forced me to work 6 days a week. And even then, I didn't really make $1,800 a week. Some weeks I did, but most weeks I didn't. And you had to kill yourself. You didn't have time to stop and eat. You didn't have time to stop and get a shower. You barely had time to stop and go to the bathroom. And sleep. I mean, you didn't have a choice but to sleep because the DOT forces us to take a 10-hour break. But they barely gave you time for that. So you had to figure out how to get all your stuff done in your 10 hours. You know, eat, sleep, shower, go to the bathroom. Everything. But during the day, it was all go, go, go. And you had to load and unload your own trailers. They loaded it at the DC, but then you go to the customer, which is TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and you have to unload, and they usually don't have room for the product, so then they try to manipulate you into rearranging their dock so that they have room for your product, and it's like their job to make sure that you have room for the product. And it's a pain in the ass. And then they got these gaylords, these large bins with recyclable material that you're supposed to reload onto the trailer and take back to the DC. And they overstuff them to where you can't hardly get them on the trailer. And then they tell you you have to take it. You don't have a choice. Well, you do have a choice, but they still try to manipulate you into taking it. And it was just such a pain in the ass. So I was like, I did that for a year, and I was like, all right, I'm out of here. I'm done with this crap. But I couldn't quit because I needed to stay here to get the loan with the bank. Now it turns out I can't even get the loan for the bank because I'm gonna have a clouded title. So I should have quit and went somewhere else. But anyway, I changed divisions. Now I'm over the road, but it doesn't pay as much. They say you get paid for dropping hooks, but you really kind of don't. You only get paid for dropping hooks.
Right onto North US 41 toward Rockville.
You only get paid for dropping hooks at Home Goods. I don't get paid for the dropping hooks at the DCs. I don't get paid for the dropping hooks.
Speed limit reduced ahead.
Anywhere else, basically. I don't even get paid for the unloading time. And also at the other place, I got paid for other division. I got paid for breakdown time. Where over here, I don't. They say you do, but you got to go through all this rimmerang to try to get it, and it's practically impossible to get it. And you can't hardly get a hold of anybody to figure out how anything works, because everybody's impossible to get a hold of. So it's a real pain in the ass. But other than that, it's pretty laid back. It's not a high stress environment. I can go home almost anytime I want. They just want me to stay out a minimum of 10 days. But if I do that, I don't make any money. So I pretty much, instead of going home every other weekend, I'm opting now to go home every third weekend, which is better for my animals because I got to rotate my animals every 3 weeks anyhow. So I'm, basically the only thing that really works for me is being home every weekend or being home every third weekend. So I'm going that route. I'll make a little bit more money to reinvest, get my dividends up, then I can quit and go somewhere else. But after this project, I got another project I want to work on, so I might need a loan for that project. So I got to stay here to get the, to have the good job history to get the loan for that project. So I'm gonna have to stick it out either way. So I'll just work a little bit more, get my dividends up, and see what happens. I probably won't. I'm gonna do crypto on the weekends, but for shits and giggles, let's see if there's any new coins. There is. So I'll do that tomorrow. But maybe. It's like I said, I'm trying to save money, not spend money. That being said, I could go in tomorrow and cash out any crypto that's up and that I have more than 10 coins in, because I want to have a minimum of 10 coins of every crypto currency. So that's my goal. And then that way, if one of them becomes the next Bitcoin and hits $100,000 a coin, then I'm a millionaire. Boom. And then I can roll that money over into dividend stocks. Or do like Elon Musk does and borrow the money against the coin and put it into dividend stocks, and then I can write it off. So, anyways, my crypto stacking, I made a couple bucks almost. Not enough to brag about, but hey. That pays every week. But it pays me in crypto, I think, not in cash. So I got a little bit less money in here because I needed to give my girlfriend some money. Carter, CRI. It is down.
Speed warning.
Go past this light and use the right two lanes to take your next slight right into US 41.
Pays about 5%.
Keep right onto.
So we're gonna buy $5 worth.
Rockville.
Slight right into US 41.
Speed warning.
That way, when it goes up, I can cash it out. DR. It's down 20 cents. So it pays about every quarter. I haven't reinvested any
Turn at the first right onto East Haythorne Avenue.
in a while,
Speed limit reduced ahead.
or ever. I just bought the one time a long time ago and never reinvested. So it pays 3%. So we'll buy $3 worth.
Haythorne Avenue.
East Haythorne Avenue.
Confirm. All right, so I got $4 worth. When it goes back up, I'll sell it.
In a quarter mile, turn left into the parking lot.
Meanwhile, I'll get dividends from it. All right, so Ashland is up for 7 cents. Sale, baby, sale. Password. Alright,
Destination is on the left.
Turn left into the parking lot.
I made a whole 5 cents. Unfollow.
Hello, how you doing today?
Good.
Are you empty?
Yes.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Alright.
I'll see you on the way out, okay?
Alrighty. Thank you.
600 feet, turn left.
She always has a perky personality. Alright, 3%. So, what I probably should do is go over to Robinhood and buy $1 worth of all this, because
Turn left. Then you will take your first right.
even though Cash App is telling us that it pays a dividend, Robinhood may not. There's a lot of stocks that Robinhood keeps a secret as to paying dividends. You know, so yeah.
Turn right. Then you will take your first left.
Anyway, I should start doing that. Maybe I will. Let's go. What was that? Ashland?
Turn left. Then immediately turn left.
Alright. Ash.
Turn left. Then you will take your first left. Turn left. Then you will take your first left.
Land. Okay. They do not hide the fact that it's paying almost $3 in dividends. But or 3% in dividends. But I'm just gonna buy $1 worth. I need to start getting in the habit of that. Okay, we got $1 worth. Now I got tabs on it, so it won't disappear out of my system. All right, I'm at my drop and hook location. I gotta get out here and take pictures of this trailer before I drop it. Ooh, there's a good spot to drop it too. And then hook to my other trailer, do my pre-trip inspection, and blah blah blah. So I'm gonna stop the video because it'll probably end anyways. Or I could just do this, and then that way, if it times out, no big deal. I can put some music in here for you to listen to. Or I'll just leave it here for a minute, and then I'll pause the video. And then if it times out, well, I'll start over. But we're almost done anyway. Yeah, what's the definition of a good parking spot? Well, it's either a spot that you can do a pull through, you don't have to do any backing, or one where you just have to do a straight line back, you don't have to do any special setups to try to get it in there, which I've been doing this almost 30 years, about 30 years. So I'm pretty good at backing. I even came up with, well, I didn't come up with it. I learned it from a yard dog. But I've learned some new backing strategies, which, or setup strategies for backing, which actually I like them better than the traditional setups, which is cool. And then I saw somebody do a U-turn back into a parking spot, and I was like, I have got to try that, but I've never tried it yet, and it was very impressive, very impressive. So yeah, I just gotta figure out how he did it and practice it, but find a good spot to practice it. I had to practice it in like an empty parking lot. But it was freaking cool. He backed the truck and a trailer with it in a U-turn into a parking spot. And it was kind of a tight parking spot, and he did it in like one try. It was very impressive. But anyways, I'll go ahead and finish this out. Let's see here. We have Weeble Password. Might help if I enter the right password. I probably won't be cashing anything out here because I don't really have a whole lot here. Anyway, looks like I haven't made a whole lot, or haven't made anything in the last week. So, and Weeble's really hard to read. So let's see, ARR. Looks like the stock is down. Or maybe it's up. No, ARR PRC looks like the stock is down. And ARR looks like the stock is up. Let's double check that. All right. Net worth. Let's go to Webull. Portfolio. ARR. Okay, looks like the stock is up. So I could cash out some of that. Let's go back over here. I'm gonna keep one share, but I'm gonna cash out one share. So I don't know, sell to close, market, negative. I'm only gonna cash out one share. So I'm gonna make only $1, but yeah. View profit and loss. Looks like I made $4. Not too bad. All right. Anyways. So going back, so now I have one share of that. Okay, this one is down. That one is down. That one is down. That one is only up by a couple pennies. That one is down. That one is down. That one is down. That one's way down. 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 So that was the only one that was really up besides EARN. And it's only up 2 cents. So I'm not going to bother with cashing that out. And I only have a couple $175 in there. So I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. Okay, so Moo Moo. That stock is still down. I got 2 shares. Once it goes up, I can sell 1 share. Kraken. Let's see how much money Nancy's making me today. $14. Alright, well, that's it. So, not much else to share today. So I'll take a screenshot of this, use it as my YouTube channel picture thingy for the video. And I guess that's it. Alright, party on.